Lots of events have shaped the world as we know it in recent years, and that involves the Mach Loop too. There's been a few changes down there also. In this video, I want to take a look at the changes that will or have especially affected the Mach Loop to try and determine whether I think the Mach Loop is still worthwhile visiting in 2022. Hi guys, and welcome to the Mach Loop. Coming up in this video, I'm at the Mach Loop for 2 days. I'm going to video every part of it, and I'm going to offer you guys a snapshot so that you can determine yourself whether you still believe it's worthwhile coming to the Mach Loop in 2022. First things first, I added a third day to my Mach Loop trip, so this is a snapshot over 3 days and not over 2. The reason why I added a third day will become perfectly clear in this video, but a bit of a spoiler alert, I cocked up on day 1. It was a bit of a disaster. I'll reveal why day 1 was a disaster in a minute. Days 2 and 3, on the other hand, were a very, very different story. But stick with the video for the next 60 seconds if you want to get a real feel of what the Mach Loop can, and very often, is like. So very sadly, day 1 of another 2-day trip down to the Mach Loop has come to an end. I've got to tell you, it's been a fantastic day. The weather has been brilliant. We've met so many people, and look at that view. It's been brilliant. What a day. Now, in terms of spotting aircraft, that's a very different story. So let me explain how the day pretty much unfolded. At 9 o'clock this morning, I'm packing my bags, getting prepped, getting everything ready for the day. 2 F-15s came screaming through the loop. 10 minutes later, another, and there were a different 2 F-15s that came screaming through the loop. I managed to grab 1 or 2 shots from down at the car park on the CAD east side. And okay, I got a couple of nice pictures, but I'd rather have been up here than down there. So first of all, that tells me I like to consider myself as being an okay experienced looper, but sometimes experience counts for nothing. The Mach Loop can be so unpredictable. So I missed that. Then for the rest of the day, there's been nothing. And I mean nothing. Not even a sniff. Apart from the F-15s, first thing in the morning, it was a blank day. Sounds a bit odd saying it like that, really. So we just spent all day chatting, enjoying the view, and chatting some more. Tomorrow, on the other hand, a different story. We arrived at the top of Cad East at 8 AM. There's no way I was going to get caught out for the second time. No way. The following is a storyline of how my second day's adventure panned out. I think it's fair to say that that was completely chalk and cheese. Tuesday was an incredible day at the Mach Loop. No matter what viewing area you were at the Mach Loop, you were spoilt. 21 passes we had at CAD East in total, and that is like the Mach Loop of old. What a brilliant, brilliant day. But as you can see already, completely chalk and cheese from yesterday. Now, because I messed up on Monday and had such a great day on Tuesday, I decided, in the best interest of balance, to stay a third day just to see if there's any similarities between one day and the next. So how did day 3 pan out? Well, let's take a look at my favourite images from today, and then we'll delve deep into what happened on Wednesday. For a different perspective, I headed up to CAD West for the day. CAD East and CAD West offer very different perspectives and photography opportunities. I headed up at 8 AM and after the obligatory huff and puff, I was all set up and raring to go. It's now 9 AM and what another cracking day. I was all settled in for a long day. I don't know why, but I just had that feeling it wasn't going to be anywhere near as good as yesterday. Then from nowhere the comm started buzzing. There was a mention that an osprey, an American osprey, might be heading our way. They don't fly through the loop as often as they used to, so imagine our excitement. Ospreys are very strange looking aircraft. They're notoriously difficult to photograph even though they travel slowly, but that's due to their slow moving propellers. But as always, I love a challenge.
There he was, gone. Oh no, left.
Don't go anywhere, don't go anywhere. Let's take a quick look at some of my favourite images from today, and then I'll come back and we'll have a quick chat to discuss whether I think the Mach Loop is still worthwhile visiting in 2022. So just before I give you my thought process on whether I still think it's worthwhile visiting the place, let me just point this out right from the get-go. The diary of events that I filmed over the last 3 days were a diary of events that happened to me whilst I was at the Mach Loop. It's not a diary of events that happen at the Mach Loop. What I'm saying is, just because we saw F-15s on Monday morning at 9 o'clock, don't just assume every Monday morning at 9 o'clock F-15s are going to fly through the Mach Loop. It does not work like that. The Mach Loop is not predictable. That, I believe, is one of the great things about the Mach Loop. There's no timetable. There is a timetable that you can download from a government website, an official government website, but it is not a timetable of the Mach Loop. It's a timetable of a vast area in Wales. It's not just the Mach Loop. So please ignore any timetables. Do not even bother or waste your time downloading them. I want to get that out there right off the bat. So the question is, the burning question is, 2022, is it still worthwhile visiting the Mach Loop? Well, in my opinion, based on the 3 days, I had 2 days, 2 weeks prior to that as well. I didn't film it, and they were very, very similar days. But of course, I've been to the Mach Loop lots of occasions and drawn a blank. So, for me, the Mach Loop is a definite yes. I'm going to make my 1 or 2 trips down every month to the Mach Loop, and I'm going to thoroughly enjoy myself. If I see aircraft flying through, fantastic. If I don't, then that's fine. But you have to ask yourself the question. On Monday, at the start of this film, I showed what happened on the Monday and condensed it into a minute. If you skipped any part of that minute because you were bored, then I would definitely suggest that the Mach Loop is not for you, because that 1 minute is a timeline of, I think, 8.5 to 9 hours of myself and like-minded people stood on top of a windy mountain, just enjoying each other's company and enjoying the view. That's what you've got to think about. It's like fishing. It's what all the loopers say. It's like fishing. Go there, enjoy each other's company and enjoy your surroundings, because it's an incredible place. If aircraft come through, then fine, that's brilliant. It's just like catching a fish. It's outstanding. But on the other hand, we've got holidays coming up. You see people go to the Mach Loop and they take the kids. How long do you think it would be before the kids started getting bored? It's also a very dangerous place for kids. But if you turned up for kids, with your kids, and I imagine the kids are going to get bored very, very, very quickly. Your pets are going to get bored very quickly and very cold. That's a completely different ball game. You take kids for somewhere for an hour and just say, let's just sit down and look at the view. They've got a very, very different attention span to us. So at the end of the day, I'm not really sure. Unless you turn up at the Mach Loop for a couple hours and just, chance whether you get lucky or not, then that's perfectly fine. Only you can make that decision. But for me, I love going to the Mach Loop. To me, the hook of going to the Mach Loop is not knowing. Is just, will it, won't it? Can it, can't it? That to me is the romance of the Mach Loop, and long that may that continue. The Mach Loop over the years has changed quite considerably, though. The RAF don't fly through the Mach Loop as often as they used to. as far as the RAF is concerned, there's the odd Hercules that fly through and lots of Hawks. Again, they are fantastic to witness, they are fantastic to photograph, but it's nothing like it used to be in terms of the RAF. Lots of visiting aircraft from other countries still fly through the Mach Loop. So you definitely can still have, as I've demonstrated in this video, a fantastic day or a fantastic couple or set of days. So there you go. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video and I've kind of given you a good timeline. Monday was, definitely wasn't a blank. It was 4 F-15s that flew through, or 4 passes from F-15s that flew through. Nothing else for the rest of the day. Tuesday, very, very busy, exactly how it used to be. And Wednesday, this is for me, by the way, not what normally happens at the Mach Loop. I'm going to stress that again. Wednesday was almost like an in-between day. So over the 3 days, that was a nice balance for me and I thoroughly enjoyed that. If I just turned up on the Monday, I might have been disappointed. If I turned up on the Wednesday, I might have gone home just okay. So bear all of that in mind and make your own mind up. But as far as I'm concerned, the Mach Loop for me is a definite thumbs up for 2022 and the very near future as well. I'm happy to make more videos if you guys want to see more videos based around the Mach Loop, whether it's different places to view the aircraft or whether it's camera skills and camera techniques or viewing angles and perspectives. Then do me a favor, let me know, ask your questions down below in the comments. And as always, do me a favor, help support the channel by giving this video a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, then I've got a fairly decent back catalogue. You can check them out by subscribing and hitting that notification bell. And I'll also leave you a couple of interesting videos to click on. Where is the Mach Loop, how to find the Mach Loop, etc. They'll appear up there in a second. And until the next video, guys, thank you very much indeed for watching. Cheers.